In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to create your own nested if formulas, as well as adding in some and formulas in there as well. Now, to get a better hands-on experience in this, I'll be using an example such as assigning grades to people's results. And the one we'll be using is the one showing on the screen right now. And after we're done looking at this and creating it, our formula will look as such. Now, I know this can be daunting to some out there. Don't worry, relax. I will show you quite an easy method to start from a simple formula and then bring it all together to create the ones below. Now, the important thing here is that you need to at least know how to create if formulas as well as and formulas. If you don't, go ahead and click on the links to show you how to do that. So go ahead, pause that button, download the practice workbook from the link down below, and let's get started. So as mentioned before, the nested ifs is a collection of many ifs, and it depends on how many criteria you have that needs to be assessed on each result or cell that you want analyzed. So we have a cell that you would want to say, all right, let me check it if it meets the first criteria. If it does, it's true, it gives a result and it stops there. If not, jumps to false, and it asks you what to do next. Usually, as a normal if statement, we would have a value or a text that gives a result, but now we will add in an if statement again within that section. And it will have the second criteria to be assessed. If it's true, it gives that result. If it is false, we add in another if. If it is true, we get its result. If it is false, we add another if formula. And so on and so on. We can do this as many times depending on how long, how many criteria you have that your results need to be assessed against. So in our example, having the grading system, we only have 5 scenarios, criteria to be assessed, and therefore we will stop here. The last one is where we have our false being an actual value or formula, but in this case it will be a text value. So let's go to the example, and this will be shown part by part for you to understand fully how we integrate this into one. So when you have a list as the criteria given here, we have how many rows? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. That tells me you'll always have one less if statement than the amount of rows. So we have 6, therefore we're going to have 5 if formulas. And the first one, now we want to type it in here into C10 next to our students grading results. But for now, we will write the formula here part by part and then bring it together. So what we will do is our first one will be an example percentage because we are assessing against percentages to give a grade. So let's say this is 35%. Okay, next to that, we will then write our first if formula. So equal to if, open parentheses, and because there are two conditions, bigger than 100, less than 80, we will type in and, open parentheses, our value, cell being assessed, must either be smaller than and equal to 100%, and the second condition, it needs to be, the same cell needs to be bigger than or equal to 80%. If it does fall within those two values, we would like an A grade. If not, we would like to go to false 1. Close parentheses. Now, under the percentage, we'll type in false 1. Then we will type again, equal to if that same percentage, sorry, it's again two criteria, so it's and if that same percentage is smaller than 80%, as we can see here, if it's smaller than 80%, and the second one, if it is bigger than or equal to 70%, then we would like a B grade, comma, if not, then it is false 2. Close parentheses, false 2 will be equal to if, and again, if that same value is smaller than, now this one is 70%, comma, and that same value, if it is either smaller than 70 or bigger than and equal to 60%, close parentheses, comma, then we would like a C grade, comma, if not, then it is false, which one now, 3, close parentheses, false 3 equal to if, and again, that same value, if it is smaller than, what are we looking at now, 60%, and if that value is bigger than and equal to 50%, then we have a D grade. If not, we go to our next one being false 4, close parentheses. In false 4 position, we have equal to if, and what is it that we're looking at now? That value is smaller than 50%, comma, or bigger than and equal to 40%. So it needs to be bigger and or equal to 40% and smaller than 15%. Then we would like a E grade. If not, go to false 5. Close parentheses. False 5. Now here we will not type an equal to sign. We could, but it's not needed because it's the last statement, which means that if it doesn't meet any of these results above, then we would just like to say that it is a fail. And now the next step is, now that we've typed our formula for each scenario, we would like to then place those all into one to create our nested if. How to do that? We first visually see the formulas. Now, if you were to select each cell, you can see it in your formula bar, but it does become a bit difficult to integrate these into one. So what you can do is you go to Formulas menu, and in the ribbon, you choose Show Formulas. For a shortcut, you can just click Control and tilde, and then it will show this. And if you click it again, it will go away. And there we see all the formulas instead of the result. Now the trick here will be to move from the bottom going up. So you'll see false 5 needs to be replaced with fail. And that's what we will do. We will select the cell going inside the cell, either clicking F2 or double clicking with your mouse, highlighting it all, Control X, which means cutting it out, pressing enter. So it's gone now, but it's been moved. So you double click inside false 4 and you replace false 5 with that word, enter. Now it is part of this equation. We then go into false 4 and we take in the entire formula, excluding the equal to sign. Control X again, backspace to take away the equal sign, enter. Double click here. Now, because what we took now is an actual formula, we need to also remove the double quotation marks. Double quotation means text. We do not want text. We want an actual dynamic formula. So we remove all that and we replace it with that formula we just Control X. So now Control V, it's in there. Press enter. Again, take the entire row, excluding the equal to sign. Control X, backspace, enter. Double click, replace the entire false 3 with the double quotations, Control V, enter, and so we just do it over and over till we get to the top. Control X, backspace, enter, Control V, enter, double click, Control X, backspace, enter, and replace the last one, Control V, enter, and we have just created our first nested if. Now it won't maybe show the entire one in the cell, but if you look in the formula bar right above, you'll see the entire one written right there. And what's nice about that is the way that you've copied it now, the relative cell reference still refers to the same D2 here, one cell to the left. This is a relative cell referencing. So if you want to know more, you can click on the relative cell training as well. And what we can do now is just before we copied it, let's go back to the result view. Instead of the show formulas, we can deselect show formulas or control tilde. And now we can just say, you see, 35% means fail. If we change this value to 75%, tells it's a B grade. Now, because the relative cell referencing has been used in here, we know it's one left cell moved to the left. So we can just copy this, Control C and Control V, and it's assessing one cell to the left of that. So we can Control C again, go down, Control V. And there we have just done our first nested if with the and inside of it. Just add some borders. And that is how easy it is. So go ahead and try this. If you'd like any other examples to be shown, please let me know in the comment box below. I'd really appreciate that. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, as we will be issuing more and more of these tutorials going out. We'd love to hear your input. Thanks for your time. Bye.